Europa is also associated with the moon. Here's Lucian of Samosa of Sidon in Phoenicia talking about the temple of Astarte, and that the Phoenicians venerated Europe at this temple when she disappeared off the face of the earth, as it was. So here is some more in terms of the goddesses from the ancient world that possesses these qualities of light and beauty, enlightenment in that sense, intelligence and even seduction. Sometimes associated with the sun, sometimes with the moon. Astarte in Europe in one way are the same, then we can say. Isis, Ishtar, Inanna, Astarte, Semiramis, Venus, or even Lucifer actually comes into this as well, as we'll see. Or Hathor, Diana, Turant, or Tanit. There's so many of these. Virgin Mary in the extension, as we'll see. But just take a look at these symbols here, how similar they are. This is the Minoan statue. This is Tanit, a Phoenician moon goddess. And this is, you have the pyramid and the radiance of the head, or the eyes right there in one way, and the dividing line. Very similar to the all-seeing eye. Interesting. And just this is actually the symbol as well for the Apis bull, or Serapis symbol. So in one way it could be female, and in one way it could be male as well. But here are some more with the same pose. Diana, Luna, bringer of light, Mary, star of the sea. Very similar pose as well. The arms stretch out, holding something in her hands sometimes. Radiance of the head, with the sun behind her, etc. You get the idea. The bull, the cow, Apis sometimes was associated with the sun, and sometimes as Hathor here depicted, as the cow goddess in a way. Her horns is associated with the moon, because of the woman's menstrual cycles and all that stuff too. We can read a little bit here. In recent years, the theory of matriarchal culture exists in profusion before 3000 BC, has taken root and bring into question the interpretation of Hathor as only wife or only mother. Hathor wears the headdress of 18 serpents, traditionally associated with wisdom and women. The cow horns were associated with the crescent moon and thus a woman's menstrual cycles. Hathor may have quite possibly been the original mother god of the Egyptian citizens. And in terms of the male, we have the bull Zeus or Apis, sometimes depicted in the shape of a man with the head of a bull, just like the story of the Minotaur at Knossos as well, if you're familiar with that. I could do a whole thing on bull worship right here as well, and bull symbolism coming up everywhere. There just isn't time, but you get the idea. It's in the modern world: Chicago Bulls, New York Stock Exchange, Lascaux Caves, etc. Spain, Persia, Rome. Side note, interesting, Knossos, the palace there, they have a fresco of something they call bull jumping. It's in Ethiopia, it's in Spain as well. They jump over the bull. They might be symbolic. I don't know what it means actually. It might just be symbolic in terms of the fact that they master the bull. They managed to kind of jump over if we look at Zeus as a kind of the one all-seeing, all-knowing god in that sense, they're jumping over it. They're skipping Zeus in one way. Don't know, you might have another interpretation of that, what that means. But just to bring it all back into context, what we're talking about here, the abduction of Europa. The European Union knows about this stuff, and they put it on their coins. Here's the European Council building in Brussels, Belgium. Europa and the beast, the woman riding the beast. Here's in Strasbourg, France. So let's look at the question, is she associated with the sun or the moon? Which one of these is it? Sometimes it's the moon, sometimes it's the sun. My take on this is it's both, actually. She's the woman of the apocalypse. If we look at book of Revelation 12, chapter 1, let's all pray. She says, we read, and a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars, the 12 stars of the European Union. It's Europa, or the Mother of God, Virgin Mary, the Queen of Heaven. Isis, Inanna, Aphrodite, Astarte, Semiramis, you do get the idea. From Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly Palmer Hall, in the Mystery of the Apocalypse chapter, he writes, this woman represents the constellation of Virgo, and also the Egyptian Isis, who, about to be delivered of her son horse, is attacked by Typhon, or Typhoon, the latter attempting to destroy the child, predestined by the gods to slay the spirit of evil. The war in heaven relates to the destruction of the planet Ragnarök, and the fall of the angels. The Virgin can be interpreted to signify the secret doctrine itself, and her son, the initiate born out of the womb of the mysteries. Here's some more images for you in terms of the woman of the apocalypse, clothed in the sun, standing on the moon. Some more here for you, 12 with the 12 stars, obviously. Indiana, interesting flag there, by the way, the torch of liberty in that sense. Diana, the moon goddess, obviously. So we're talking about the Queen of Heaven here. Mary, Star of the Sea, Stella Maris. This is Mariology, known as Mariology. Mare, or Mar, simply means ocean or sea. It connects with that idea again that the sea is the heavens is the sea. This is a statue, by the way, in Malta, connected with the Vatican through the Knights of Malta, obviously. She has the 12 stars, as I said, and the 5-pointed star, or Venus, here on her breast. There's another one of these, Stella Maris, on a monastery in Haifa, Israel, by the way, as well. So we'll return to that 5-pointed star shortly, but for now then, the EU flag, let's look at this. 12 signs popping up everywhere. Signs of the zodiac, hours of the day, months in a year, you get the idea. 12 tribes of Israel, etc. The flag was designed by Orsini Heitz, adopted by the Council of Europe on December 8, 1955. It was 15 members at that time, so it has nothing to do with the number of members. December 8th also is the Feast of the Immaculate Conception of Mary. Classical pictures of Mary has blue background and 12 stars. Heitz revealed to a French magazine that he thought of 12 stars in a circle on a blue background as it represents the traditional iconography of the image of the Immaculate Conception. As a devoted devotee of the Virgin Mary, he noticed the words of the Apocalypse from Revelation 12:1 that we read before as a source of inspiration. There's a number of other people who have realized this as well, that we don't have time to talk about. The Imperium Marianum, Mary's imperial kingdom, that's what they're in one way attributing the flag to in that sense here. And just on a funny side note, the imperial crown of the Holy Roman Empire has 144 stones decorating it, 12 times 12, 144. Don't know if there's a connection. Let's talk about Europa again then. Here's another statue of her outside the... where's this? Espace Leopold. This is in Brussels, actually. It's one of the parliament buildings. This is Europe, the goddess here again then, holding the E. You can interpret this in many different ways. You can talk about it in terms of the epsilon, the 5th letter of the alphabet, in the Greek alphabet, epsilon, E. It's 5, or as they say in French, femme, for female. We even say femme in Sweden for 5, F-E-M. It's the pentagram in that sense. It's the 5th letter, 5, pentacle. And she is also then associated in that sense with the with Lucifer, as we'll see, or Venus actually. How does that work? Well, it works like this. Venus, don't know if you can see that properly. From the point of view of Earth, Venus makes a form of a pentagram or pentacle around the Earth every 8 years as it progresses through. It's the first, in that sense, image that we have of the connection between Venus, the goddess of light, like Lucifer, the morning star, with Venus, or with, in that sense, then Europa in the extensions. He has the 5-pointed star on her breast, as it were. From my point of view, this is not like evil or anything like that. I'm just trying to follow the mythology and some of the themes of where this is coming from. And the interpretation of this, obviously, I leave up to you. This is an interesting side note here. Louise Weiss. This is the parliamentary building in Strasbourg. The building is named after this lady, by the way, this one here. One could interpret her name to literally means white light, or Lucifer white. Louise for Louis or Lucius, Lux, light, Lucifer. Weiss is German for white, or if you want to be, look at it from the point of view that she is simply wise. She was a French author, journalist, feminist, and European politician from the area of Alsace that comes from the German river Ill. Don't know if you know about the Illies or the Illuminati in this case. Very interesting point. The biggest city in this area